Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Yappers Club. Hey, girls, I'm back. I know I took a little break from posting for like a week, and this is going to be the topic of today's episode. Why the fuck I was gone for 1 week and what I have been feeling for the past week because I noticed that most of my YouTube channel has been based only around my feelings and how I feel and how I see things and how I react to things. And I'm a very open person when it comes to my feelings, especially online, because that's what makes my channel my channel. For the past week, I didn't want to post. I wanted to post, but also like everything felt like a chore, especially posting online, especially posting a new video because I've been streaming a lot on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch if you want. I noticed that I did not feel like I wanted to say or share anything about my feelings or anything about myself just because it felt useless. It felt like I'm just like complaining about something else and hey, nobody give a fuck. We're all tired. And the thing is with me, I'm a person who shares a lot. I love sharing things with my friends, with my family, not my family that much, more so my friends or my closest people. Защото аз вярвам, че ако си държиш чувствата в себе си and if you keep everything bottled up inside of you, you will eventually explode. It's always good to share your feelings with your friends. If you're feeling bad or if you're sad or anything, even if you're happy, I feel like it is really good to share your feelings with your friends because it will make you feel better. And it's never good to bottle your feelings up because you're not going to feel better. И повечето хора сме свикнали да не споделяме толкова много, защото смятаме, че ще бъдем нападнати, смятаме, че някой ще ни съди за това. And I get it because, girl, trust me, I've been there. В смисъл, но това е, че в същото време забелязвам как, когато не споделям с никой нищо, I go in my head even more and I'm like spiraling even more. But then at the same time, I'm like, okay, but like my friends are also struggling. Like people go through different shit all the time. And I feel like if I were to share my like bad feelings or bad thoughts or whatever I have to share with my friends, I'll be like, okay, but they're also struggling. So like, аз един вид ги трамадъмвам още повече и един вид те се превръщат в моето коше за емоционални отпадъци. And I never want to make someone feel like that. Like they're supposed to like listen to me all the time because you're not. Okay? But when you have close friends, it's like a given that, they're always going to be there for you. Sorry guys, I was rudely interrupted защото телефона ми падна в статива. But, as I was saying, recently, I have been feeling very closed off. And I closed myself off on purpose because I was like, girl, like, ain't nobody give a fuck right now. Everyone is doing their own things. They're going through different things. Like, why would they want to deal with your shit? Because you are an adult and you have to deal with them by yourself. And usually I'm a person who deals with my shit by myself. Mostly I try my best to like not bother anyone with my feelings, but also I'm a person who loves talking about his feelings all the time. And that's what I'm known for, complaining and just oversharing online and offline everything about myself and everything about my life to the point where even if you've never seen me or talked to me in real life, you would know everything about me, which is not a good thing because when you overshare, it's like you're not letting the other people like wonder about your feelings because your feelings are out on the table and I'm a very open person when it comes to my feelings and how I feel and all of that. Но напоследък съм се затворил до такава степен в себе си, че буквално съм някакво добре смисъл, знам, че им пука и знам, че искам да им кажа, защото буквално I was like losing my mind like last week. I don't know if it was a crash out, a mental breakdown, a spiral moment. I don't know what it was, but I was literally like losing my mind because I realized that, oh, I have not thought about my feelings at all. Аз буквално съм човек, който винаги I always put my feelings first and I always validate them and I always see them and let them be free because I'm an emotional person and I, love feeling things. And I'm also a firm believer that you should always validate your feelings and you should never hide from them or ignore them or whatever that is. And I noticed that I started doing that, especially for the past like week or two. I have been ignoring them and I have been ignoring what I'm feeling for like probably a month now because I was like, it's not that important, I have other shit that I need to do. There's other things that need to be done. My friends are doing their own thing. Like I don't want to bother them because I never want to be a nuisance to anyone. Или да съм пречка на някой, когато си говоря за чувствата, or whatever it is, which is not good. And you should never do that. You should never feel like that. If you want to share something with your friends, do that. Don't do what I'm doing. But with that being said, the feeling that I realized that I have been feeling for a long time now, for almost a month, has been emptiness. And when I say emptiness, I don't mean that I don't feel joy or happiness from the things I'm doing, because I'm doing Twitch right now. I'm doing so many things, so many fun and cool things are happening in my life. And I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that they are. And I'm so thankful that I'm like experiencing all of these things. But also at the same time, I feel empty. It's not like I'm not satisfied. It's not like I'm not happy with where I am in life, because I am. It's not like I'm not grateful. It just feels empty. Whenever I do anything and I'm having fun, at the end of the day, when I go to bed at night or when I wake up in the next morning, I just feel emptiness. I just feel this empty hole in my stomach of what, like, I don't know where this emptiness is coming from. And a lot of people would say, ами това е защото не излизаш навън, защото аз напоследък не излизам толкова често от нас, because I just don't feel like doing it, because when I go outside, it just feels like all the energy that I have is drained suddenly from me. Literally, it just feels like a chore to go outside. И дори когато излезам до магазина, защото аз единственото нещо, което правя, ако излезна, е да излезам до магазина и да се върна and just stay back home, because I do not want to be around people and I do not want to be like socializing. But I do. It's not like I don't enjoy socializing, but at the same time, it feels like a chore. It feels draining to do it. And повечето хора ще кажат, ами това е, че не правиш достатъчно неща, смисъл, имаш твърде много свободно време, си не влизаш в главата, бла бла бла. I'm not saying that that's not the case, because maybe it is. But also at the same time, повечето пъти, когато съм имал супер много свободно време, I've always felt like this. It's not something that just came up because I'm bored, защото повечето хора ще кажат, ами на теб просто ти е скучно и затова се чувстваш така, which is not the case for me, because when I think about this emptiness that I've been feeling, I'm like, this has been a long time coming. I've just ignored this feeling for such a long time. Especially, още откакто започна годината, I felt a little bit off, but I said to myself, you know what, maybe it's just because it's a new year, like all the trauma from last year is still with you, like maybe you just need time to like ground yourself a little bit and like take your time. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna think about it, because it's useless. Like, I don't need to think about it. I have this I need to do. I have this I need to do. I have so many things that I need to do, and so many cool things are happening. So I don't need to think about, the emptiness I feel, because it's not important. And girl, trust me, it is. Because when I was going through that mental breakdown / whatever the fuck it was, I realized that not only have I felt this emptiness for a long time, but I've also felt this sadness for such a long time. And I was like, where is it coming from? Защото в повечето случаи, когато се чувствам тъжен или просто някакво негативно чувство, аз се опитвам да анализирам абсолютно всичко в мозъка си. Абсолютно всяка случка. Абсолютно всичко, което ми се е случило, което съм мислил, което някога е ставало в живота ми, за да разбера откъде идва това негативно чувство. Which is not a good thing. You should never overanalyze your feelings and your trauma or anything, because you will spiral. There is no way out of it. You will spiral. Every time you try to overanalyze your thoughts and your feelings, you will spiral, and it will not be good for you. So literally don't fucking do it. Don't do it. It's not a good thing. It's not a good idea. But I never learn, unfortunately, and I've been literally busting my ass trying to analyze everything that I have felt or that has happened in the past 2 weeks, past 3 weeks, anything, to pinpoint where this sadness / emptiness is coming from. And I literally can't. And that's why I spiral even more, because I need to know. I always need to know where a certain feeling is coming from, especially when it comes to sadness or emptiness. Because when you feel happy, you don't really need to analyze why you're happy. You're just happy, And when you're sad, you're always like, I mean, for me personally, I'm always like, I need to find out what is the reason. This happened, so is it because of this? But it's not because of this, because I don't think it's because of this. Maybe it's because of the, and I just go on this whole like journey of like, what's going on? Where did this come from? Why is this happening? Why do I feel like that? И до такава степен се закопах в себе си, че буквално спрях да споделям абсолютно всичко, което чувствам с приятелите си и защо се чувствам така, because I was like, you know what, they don't need to know. Когато разбера какво се случва и защо се чувствам така, тогава ще им споделя. But then at the same time, I'm like, girl, you're literally like decaying from the inside out. Буквално аз се разяждам отвътре и се чопля сам самичък отвътре, вместо просто да споделя, because I'm like, I don't want to bother anyone. I'm good. Like, I can fix it. I can feel better. I can find out why. And sometimes, unfortunately, колкото и да е трудно аз да го приема това, защото за мен е най-трудно да го приема това, е, че понякога няма причина, girl. Sometimes it's just a phase, unfortunately. And when I think about this phase that I'm going through right now, I'm like, yeah, but for me, it's not a phase because I've always felt like this. Because the people who know me in real life know that I am a sad person. And I think in a masochistic way, I love being sad. I enjoy the feeling of sadness. I love crying. Like, I think I have a fetish for crying at this point because I think I'm addicted to this sad feeling because for so long I was so sad and I hated that I was sad that now whenever I feel sad, I'm like, oh, I love it because for so long I didn't love it. And then I embraced that feeling. And I think not only did I embrace it and I validated it, but it became a part of me. And now I enjoy it, which is so wrong and so not the right thing to do, literally. But also, I feel like sadness for me always brings me comfort. And whenever I feel sad or I'm crying or I'm not in a good mood, I'm like, this is who I am. I'm a sad person. And this is my identity, sadness. And maybe it's not true, you know, because a lot of people would argue, girl, просто си филмиран, нали? Просто е фаза, просто може би заради еди си какво. And maybe you're right. I don't know. Но в същото време не мога да се съглася, защото съм някакво, няма специфична причина. И може би има, може би няма, но не мога да я намеря. And I'm like spiraling even more, and that's why I didn't want to record anything, because I was like, what the fuck am I going to say? Защото когато повечето пъти записвам епизод и говоря за специфична емоция, която чувствам, повечето пъти знам откъде идва и знам точно защо се чувствам по този начин. And this time I don't. And I think that's why I feel this emptiness too, because I'm like, it's like emptiness and sadness at the same time, because I'm like, I feel so empty. When I go to sleep at night, it's not like, I'm not saying it's not enjoyable, because yes, I love sleeping, obviously, but also at the same time, it's like, it's empty, it's quiet, it's lonely even. And don't get me wrong, me and loneliness, I've accepted loneliness as part of my life. Loneliness to me is not something bad, and it should never be bad. You should embrace your loneliness. And I have embraced it, trust me. I have embraced being lonely, and it's never been a bad thing. But it's not that. It's not because I'm lonely, because I don't feel like it's because I'm lonely. I think I'm just so focused on finding out the reason why I feel sad that I just create this emptiness inside of my stomach. And then I'm like, why do I feel like this? Because I'm creating it in my own brain. At least that's my logic. And don't trust me. Don't believe anything I'm saying, literally. But I feel like that's why I feel so empty all the time. And I feel not even bored, just unsatisfied. And I'm not saying that I'm not happy with the things I'm doing. I don't feel joy, because I am. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy talking to my friends. I enjoy going out. I enjoy recording podcast episodes. I enjoy talking. I enjoy all of it. I love it. It brings me so much happiness and so much pleasure. But also at the same time, it's like, why am I so empty then? When I'm doing everything that I love, when my life is actually pretty good and pretty stable right now, why do I feel this emptiness? Why do I feel so empty all the time? And people would say, because you're bored. because you don't go out enough, because you don't have a job, because yes, I don't have a job, yes, I don't go out enough, yes, maybe I am boring, maybe I am bored a little bit, and maybe that's why I'm feeling like this. But also, I tend to disagree with most of those things because even if I worked a 9 to 5 job every day, I still would feel this emptiness. I don't feel like if I went out more, if I got a job, if I was doing this, and this, if I was working out, if I was going out more, if I was being more social, I would not feel so empty. And I tend to disagree because I've always felt this feeling. I've always felt this emptiness. And it started like a long time ago. And I've never really been able to pinpoint why. And I've always ignored it. And like, I feel like this month was like my eye-opening moment of, oh, I do feel empty. I do feel this sadness. I've felt this sadness for a long time, and I felt this emptiness for a long time, and now I now I finally realize it. Because I feel like in most cases you tend to not really focus on those things because si казваш, ами да, чувствам се така, ама едва ли е нещо, нали, супер сериозно, не е нещо толкова дълбоко, it's not that deep, but unfortunately, it is that deep. Clearly, it is that deep because I can't sleep properly. Like, my sleep is so messed up. I don't eat properly, which is not a surprise because we all know, I've talked about it so many times, my diet is not the best. But also, when I go outside and even if I'm with my friends, I feel this emptiness in my stomach. I'm like, okay, but why though? Like, I'm enjoying my company. I'm enjoying that I'm outside. Like, I'm enjoying everything. And I am forgetting about that feeling, but when I go home, it's like back to square one. It's like, oh my god, back to me just feeling empty all the time. Back to me feeling lonely, back to me feeling sad. And it's like, why though? Винаги имам чувство, че трябва да знам защо това се случва. Как се случва? Откъде идва? Защо точно сега? Какво е станало? Заради това ли е? Заради този човек ли е? Заради она ситуация ли е? It's like, why? All the time. And it's like, unfortunately, the harsh reality that maybe I don't want to accept still is that sometimes there is no why, baby. It just happens. Maybe that's what's happening to me right now. Maybe there's no reason. But I'm a firm believer also that everything does happen for a reason. And even if it doesn't have a specific reason right now, with time, I feel like I can find out, or it's just going to come to me in a dream, or I'm just going to realize it one day like this. Which I feel like that's the best case scenario. I feel like most times when you can't find out a reason why you're feeling a certain way, you just have to leave it and just let yourself feel the feeling. Don't dwell on it. Just let yourself feel it. And I feel like with time, the reason will come to you naturally. You don't have to look for it. But I am a very stubborn person. Аз съм много твърдоглав човек и съм огромен инат. И аз трябва да разбера защо. Трябва да знам защо. Защо се случва. Аз ще разбера и аз ще го оправя. I have to fix it. No one else. That just makes you self-sabotage yourself even more because when you are digging in yourself for so long, ти сам се правиш кух. You create that emptiness when you're like digging in your brain, in your mind for so long, like searching for a reason why anything is happening. And sometimes there is no why. And I can't accept that. And that's why I've been struggling for so long with this emptiness that I feel because I need to know why. But at the same time, deep down in my brain, I know there's no reason. I know I'm not going to find that reason right now. So why am I so focused on finding it? Because I don't want to feel like that anymore? Because I don't enjoy feeling sad? Because I do. Unfortunately, I do enjoy feeling sad. I do enjoy feeling lonely. I do enjoy yearning for things that might never happen to me. In my opinion, I feel like all of us are lonely to a certain degree. And even if you have a partner, and even if you have the best life that you could ever possibly have, that feeling comes into play. I feel like loneliness is a universal feeling. And all of us are lonely in one way or another. You could be lonely with yourself. You could be lonely with someone else. But the universal feeling, I feel like it's just you're lonely with yourself. And trust me, I am lonely with myself. I do feel lonely most of the times. And I accepted it. And I just embraced the loneliness that I have been feeling for so long. And it's not such a scary feeling, but it does create space for this sadness and this emptiness, because when you are lonely, you tend to create a lot of problems for yourself just because you are lonely, because you are closing yourself off to sharing your problems with your friends. And it really is difficult when you get to that point of, oh, I don't care. I don't want to talk about myself. I don't want to share anything. They have their own issues. I don't want to bother. They're struggling. My problems are not that bad, but they are. Аз съм сигурен, че повечето от вас са имали момент в живота, в който сте били някакво: аз не искам да си споделям с проблемите, защото моят най-добър приятел или партньор ми, или който и да е, човек, който, нали, на който много държите, те преминават през нещо много по-гадно от моето. And you automatically invalidate your own problems just because someone else that you love and you care about is struggling. You tend to invalidate your own feelings and close yourself off, and you're like, I'm not doing that bad. They're doing worse than me. Like, I'm gonna be there for them, and I'm not gonna share my problems just because I feel like I'm not struggling as much. And the problem is that you are. Everything you feel is valid. И няма нещо като той страда повече от мен, защото хората страдат по различен начин. And people tend to feel things way differently than one another. And it's so hard because you want to be there for the people that you love and care about. But also, at the same time, you want them to be there for yourself. But at the same time, you don't want that because you don't want to burden them. Because you're already burdening yourself with your own issues, and you don't want to burden them as well. It's like such a weird thing. And I've always felt like this. Защото аз съм човек, който, fuck my problems. How do I help you? What do you need? Literally talk to me. I will do everything in my power to help you. Like, fuck my problems. I've always been like that. И напоследък, когато си говоря с повечето си приятели, съм някакво, fuck my problems. Ако някой ме пита как съм, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm slaying. I'm just like, doing amazing, yes. But people tend to notice. Especially if it's someone really close to you, they know that you're not feeling like that. И забелязвам как моите приятели малко или много напоследък усещат как аз не се чувствам like the best. But I am a person who usually can hide it pretty well. I think because of the way I grew up, I learned how to hide my sadness and my emptiness just because I don't want to be burden to anyone. I don't want to trauma dump anyone. And at the same time, even if I don't know you, chances are I will overshare everything. And oversharing, as much as I love doing it, is never good. Sometimes when you are feeling bad, of course you want to share your feelings with your friends. Of course you just want them to hear you out. Maybe you don't even want advice. Maybe you just want to be heard and seen. And that's completely valid. But that does not mean that you should share literally every single thing you think and feel, because ние сме самостоятелни личности, всички от нас. And it is good sometimes to keep some things to yourself. And I think I have an issue with that because I'm either oversharing or not sharing anything about myself. It's like, аз нямам баланс между тези две неща. Аз нямам среда на това дали да споделям абсолютно всичко или да не споделям нищо. За мен няма среда. I'm either gonna overshare everything with you or not tell you anything. I've always struggled with that because I used to overshare everything. I used to share literally every single thing that I ever feel with every single one of my friends, to the point of like, these bitches are sick of me. I know they're not sick of me, but in my head, I'm like, bitch, we're sick of you. Maybe because I am sick of myself. Maybe because I'm sick of like, oh, here we go again. It's like, oh my God, той пак се филмира. Oh my God, той пак е влезъл. It's like, no, that's not the case. But when you do have people in your life that maybe have called you a maniac, filmar, for some reason, you tend to like believe that. And I am changed. I have matured and I have grown into a version of myself that I do love dearly. I do love myself a lot. But when it comes to talking about my feelings and sharing my feelings, I'm like, ooh, if I share everything, they're probably gonna think I'm a freak. But if I don't share anything, they're probably gonna think I, you know, ended ended my life or something. And it is a very slippery slope when it comes to sharing and not sharing and caring and not caring. And I think I've struggled with that a lot recently because I love sharing. I love talking about myself clearly. I love talking about my feelings. And especially in my podcast, I'm a very open person when it comes to my feelings and how I feel and how I see things and how I react to things. But recently I've been like, but do people, like, why, защо да говоря за тия неща? Защо не говоря за нещо по-различно? Защото когато не говоря за това нещо, тогава аз не се фокусирам на него, защото ако почна да говоря за това нещо, това значи, че то е истинско. И това значи, че трябва аз да мисля за него. And I already think about my feelings enough. Like, I don't want to think about them more because when it comes to my feelings and my struggles, I think about them all the time. You might think otherwise, but trust me, they are on my mind constantly. Everything that has ever happened to me is always here. Maybe at the back of my mind, but it's always there. And when it comes to sharing my feelings and when it comes to talking about my feelings with my friends, for example, I'm like, окей, аз ще им кажа нещата заобиколно и реално няма да им кажа истинската причина, поради която се чувствам така, защото може би не искам да я фейсвам в момента или може би просто я няма. Може би просто няма причина, поради която се чувствам така. Може би просто се чувствам така, просто защото се чувствам така. And that's still valid, but I don't want to accept that. Защото пак съм твърдоглав и съм инат. И трябва да знам защо. И кога. И как. И как да го правя. Because I don't have time. And you do have time. Trust me, you do have time. You don't have to rush your healing process. You don't have to rush to fix yourself or fix the things that you're feeling. No, you don't have to rush anything because life is fast-paced. Но всички се движат с различна скорост. And you don't have to be fast about it. You don't have to be like rushing everything all the time because you will burn out. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I didn't want to record an episode because I was like, I felt so burned out because I was like rushing in my brain and in my journal too. Everything. Like, okay, I feel like that. And I started like digging in my brain and my mind for every single thing that might have caused my emptiness, that might have caused my sadness, that might have caused my loneliness. And I didn't reach an answer. And I was doing that for probably a week straight where I was like, okay, maybe it's this, 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 maybe it's this. And it's like, girl, no, it's not. I couldn't reach an answer. And I was like, okay, then what am I doing then? And still, if you ask me right now, how do you feel? I feel the same way. I don't know why. And maybe there's no reason for my feelings right now. And I can't accept that. I need to know why. And maybe that's why I felt so empty because my emptiness comes from me not knowing why. And that is the scariest shit ever. Защото цялата тази празнота, която чувствам, може лесно да бъде запълнена, когато се откажа от това да търся отговор на въпроса защо се чувствам така. Понякога просто се чувстваш така. И аз много добре го знам това. I am not a fucking idiot. And I know that it's okay to feel something without it having a reason. I know. It doesn't have an answer sometimes. It really doesn't. You just feel like that. And it's okay to feel like that. And I know that. But I just cannot accept it. You know what I mean? Защото съм шибан и над. Защото съм твърдоглав. И съм някакво, не, аз ще разбера защо. Трябва да разбера защо. Трябва да има причина. Винаги трябва да има причина. Because I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And where is the reason, Where is it? Where is it? It has to be somewhere. I even read my old journal from last year. From 2024 and 2025. I read the whole thing and I was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is this reason? Where is it? What's going on? I need to know. I need to know. Because if I don't know, then I'm going to go insane. And I'm already going insane enough. Like I'm already insane enough. I've reached the peak of insanity. And I'm still like digging. Like, where is it? And girl, there is no reason. Maybe. Maybe there is. Защото ако някой ми каже, добре, според теб наистина ли има причина или няма, аз не мога да дам отговор на това нещо, защото съм някакво, може би няма причина, може би няма отговор. But at the same time, there has to be. It's this inner battle that I have with myself constantly of има ли причина, няма ли причина, има ли причина, няма ли причина. Ами ако има причина, може би е това и това и това и това. Ами ако няма причина, просто няма причина. It's like, which one is it? Girl, just figure it out. And maybe I shouldn't figure it out. Maybe I should just let it happen. Let those feelings in and let them out. Because I've always done that. But right now, just because of this emptiness, аз може би чувствам тази празнота и единственият начин да я запълня тази празнота е когато намеря отговора на въпроса защо. And I can't find it. And it's so annoying. Because even if I share what I'm feeling with my friends, they're gonna be like, Митко, може би просто няма причина. И е нормално, и е окей да няма причина понякога. And I know I fully believe that. Like, I know maybe there isn't a reason why I'm feeling like that. But goddamn, there has to be one. Защото ако няма причина, всичката тази работа, която върша върху себе си, it's gonna go like in like the distance. It's gonna go poof. It's gonna disappear. Because I have worked so hard on myself. And overanalyzed everything. And I've journaled so much, and I've been the most brutally honest with myself I have ever been. And I still can't find the reason why. Like, why is it happening? Why do I feel like this? И затова може би се чувствам толкова празен, защото нямам отговор на въпроса защо. Защото когато имам, дори когато съм бил супер депресиран и супер тъжен и супер just like depressed and sad and like whatever, когато съм имал отговор на въпроса защо, I didn't feel empty. I've never felt this empty in my life because I don't have an answer to the question why. And when I don't have the answer to that question, I don't feel like I have a purpose. You know what I mean? It's like that deep. I don't feel like I have a purpose. When I don't have the answer to why I'm feeling like that, it's like, what am I even doing here? You know, why have I worked so hard on myself and healed myself and grown into the version that I like just for me to not be able to find the answer to the question why? It's such a weird thing, and it's such a буквално се едно, че си биеш главата в стената и виждаш, че стената се чупи леко и като видиш, че се чупи леко, продължаваш да си биеш главата в стената. И после виждаш, че съвсем ето толкова леко се чупи. Ето толкова леко се чупи стената. И после продължаваш. And it's this never-ending cycle of like, I'm gonna find it. I know I'm gonna find it. And it's like, girl, at this point, just, I need someone to slap me across the fucking face. Because it's like, maybe you're not gonna find it. Maybe there's no reason. Maybe there's no answer. Maybe you're just feeling like that just because you are feeling like that. Но после казвам, добре, не е защото не излизам, не е защото нямам работа, като повечето хора, не е защото еди си какво, because even if I had all of those things, even if I went out more, even if I had a job, I know for a fact that I would still feel like this because I know myself. And I know so much about myself. And I'm so aware of my feelings. And I'm so aware of everything that I feel all the time and everything that I think. That even if all those things were happening, I still would feel this emptiness. И ще съм пак, защо? Защото аз съм човек, който винаги трябва да знам защо. Винаги трябва да знам защо. Особено за себе си. Когато се чувствам по някакъв начин, винаги трябва да знам защо се чувстваш така, откъде идва това нещо, какво стана, мила. И когато нямам отговор, I'm like, what's going on? Because I always need to know why I feel sad or empty. In this case, sad and empty, because I'm sad and empty. And I don't know why. Because like the only logical explanation to my feelings into the sadness that I feel is like past trauma. Maybe the trauma I endured last year is still somewhere back in my mind. And that's okay, But also, that I don't think that's the case because I feel like I've worked so hard on myself and fixed all of those things and, got better. So I doubt it's that. But sometimes ghosts of your past traumas come back, you know? And maybe that's what's happening. But also at the same time, maybe that's not the answer because trust me, ghosts of my past trauma have been haunting me. Yes, trust me, they have. Physically and mentally. In the real world and in the spiritual world, I have been haunted by ghosts of my past traumas. But also, they're not the reason why I feel like this. I can't blame that on past trauma because trauma stays with you no matter what. And you can't always blame your trauma because that's just stupid. Sorry. Like, yes, trauma does shape you a lot as a human, and you do learn a lot of things because of your past traumas. But they are not always the reason why you feel certain things. And I'm sorry, that may be crazy to say, but I just feel like that's the case for most people. И повечето хора като кажат, нали, може би е защото ти мина през това и това и това и това и това. No! No, because I got better. No, because I worked on myself. No. Maybe yes, in some sort of distant way, maybe I do feel some effects of the trauma that I endured last year. Maybe. And that's completely okay. But they're not the main reason why I feel like this. They're not the main culprit in this situation. Maybe I am the main culprit. Because also, on another note, I am my biggest enemy. Trust me, I know I am. I have no one to blame but myself. For most things in my life, I've never blamed anyone. Maybe for a short period of time I have. But in most cases, I blame me. I blame only me. Because you control how you feel. You control how you see things, how you react to things. Everything is about you. No one else, bitch. And yes, you can blame someone else for, making you feel like shit. Of course you can, because I have. Yes. But also, the main culprit is you. You are your biggest enemy. And I know I am. I am my biggest op. And I will be to the day I fucking die. And it's okay. It's okay. I have accepted that my biggest enemy is myself. I know that for a fact. But then why does that motherfucker not giving me my answer? Може би отговора на въпроса защо съм аз. Може би аз съм си отговора. Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you. And that's why I felt so lost and so empty and so like in such a weird state of sadness and just emptiness because I don't know what's going on. Because if I did know what was going on, trust me, I would tell y'all. I would share. I would talk about it more. I would talk to my friends more about these things, but I just don't talk to them about it. And I don't share anything about my feelings just because I don't know what to say. I literally don't know what to say. Защо се чувстваш така? Girl, I wish I knew. Hey, so I wish I knew. И повечето ми приятели ще ми кажат, може би просто се чувстваш така, защото се чувстваш така. And I cannot accept that. I don't want to accept it. I don't want to accept it. And maybe that's why I feel even worse every day, because може би просто защото не искам да приема факта, че Митко, може би просто се чувстваш така, защото се чувстваш така, мила. Maybe there's no reason. And maybe I am creating this emptiness by myself. Може би the hole of emptiness that I have is growing bigger and bigger and bigger every day just because I'm making it bigger. And realizing that is scary in itself. Because yes, I am creating it by myself. But also, why am I creating it for myself? Дори да си кажа, добре, може би причината, поради която се чувствам по този начин, съм самия аз. Добре, тогава, щом съм аз, защо се карам да се чувствам така? It's like, with me, it's this never-ending question of why. Дори да стигна до някаква финална причина. После ще съм някакво, добре, но защо? It's like this never-ending thing with a lot of things that I've experienced in my life. I have found the answer of why this, and this, and this, and this happened. But with this specific feeling, I feel like it's a never ending spiral of another why, another why, another why, another why. And it's just a cycle of why. Why? You know? And it's annoying. And it is self destructive. And it is self sabotage. And it is not a fun thing. And that's why I'm saying that if you are feeling sad or down and you can't find the reason why, don't look for it. Literally, don't look for it. Just let it happen and see how you feel after it. And then if it doesn't go away, maybe start looking for it again. Maybe like dig deeper. But trust me, I have dig deeper. I have been, I have reached the core of my being, and I still don't know why. So, with that being said, sometimes when you feel sad or empty or whatever it is, something negative, maybe there is no reason. И може би тази причина, която търсиш толкова дълго време, може би тя ще се появи, когато най-малко очакваш. Може би ще го осъзнаеш ей така от нищото. On a random day. After some random time. You know? But don't try to analyze it and overanalyze it. Because you will create this hole of emptiness that I have created for myself. And trust me that it's not a good feeling to feel. It's not a fun feeling. It's not a good feeling because it does affect your everyday life because it has affected my social skills. It has affected my sleep. It has affected my eating habits. It's affected everything. My podcast has always been about don't do what I'm doing. I'm showing you what not to do. I'm not giving you advice. I'm showing you that it's okay to feel a certain way, but it is not okay to do what I'm doing. So don't. If you are feeling like that, don't do what I'm doing because you're not going to end up okay. You know? And maybe on the next week's episode, I'll have an answer to that question. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm going to talk about something completely different. And that's still okay. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you learned something valuable today because I don't know if I did, if I have to be honest. But I will see you on the next one. I will be back. Sorry for being this late. I will be back. I love you all so much. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on my social media down below. Eat good food. Drink water. Tell everyone in your life that you love them and that you care about them. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay? Bye!